The war in Sudan, which entered its 9th month last week, continues to cause extreme suffering for millions across the country and in neighboring states, with women and children experiencing the conflict's impacts most acutely. Recent fighting in eastern and southern Sudan, including in areas that had been spared the worst of the conflict up until mid-December, has added to the trauma and displacement experienced by so many and compounded fears for what's next. Has the world completely isolated Sudan? Let's find out in this next report from Omdurman.
This is a video released recently by the Sudan Army. It shows cheering Sudanese with soldiers in Omdurman, a district in Greater Khartoum, after the military advanced into the capital's twin city for the first time since the start of the war with the Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces (RSF) last April. These videos started surfacing in mid-February. Soldiers can be seen driving along Al Arbain Street in Omdurman as they advanced in the capital's twin city. Reports say the SAF in the Karari military area north of Omdurman have joined their peers in the engineering corps in the south of the city, besieged by the RSF since April 2023. And as the war in Sudan rages on, this is the video where Sudan's army chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan met officers during his visit to Omdurman after the military advanced into the capital's twin city. Conflict broke out last April between al-Burhan and Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, his former deputy and commander of the Paramilitary Rapid Forces. Since the onset of this war, international attention shifted towards the other two wars, the Ukraine-Russia conflict in Europe and the Gaza-Israel dispute in West Asia. Meanwhile, in Sudan, thousands are killed and thousands more displaced in Khartoum and other cities. General Burhan even decided to go on a peace-seeking whirlwind tour of various countries in the region. He met several heads of state and governments, attended the United Nations General Assembly with several requests and pleas, but none of that bore fruit. His quest to have the RSF, his nemesis, quashed also did not pay off. Eventually he stopped. No truce nor peace happened. Back home, hundreds continue to scramble to get their passports in efforts to flee their home and conflict. The process has been tedious, time-consuming and, most of the times, unsuccessful. The war in Sudan has killed thousands, including 10,000 to 15,000 people in the single town of El Geneina in the western region of Darfur, according to the United Nations figures. It has displaced over 6 million people inside the country, while more than 1 million have fled abroad, mostly to neighboring Chad and Egypt. The United Nations says disease outbreaks pose a growing threat, particularly in overcrowded shelter sites, with the country already facing cholera and dengue fever. Inside the country, some 25 million people, over half the population, need humanitarian aid. Of those, 18 million face crisis or worse levels of hunger. 10 months on from the start of the conflict, many are struggling to find food to eat.
The leaders in Sudan are losing the trust of their people. Because some of these people told me, even if there is peace, I am afraid to go back. Because after what I have seen of the violence of the war in Khartoum, children killed, women raped, we don't want to go back. We are afraid even if there is peace. So, this is serious.
We are spiritless. We lost our homes and children. We lost the country itself. I'm a bit old and this is the first time I witness such destruction and starvation.
The past 6 months were a bitter period. We are scared day and night, scared of the bombs and bullets.
France is to host a humanitarian conference to provide aid to Sudan in April. The United Nations in early February 2024 launched an appeal for over $4 billion to help people in Sudan and neighboring countries. But last year it received only half the funds it had requested from donors. Charity organizations lament that there has been far less humanitarian aid sent to the African country than to Ukraine after Russia invaded in 2022. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.